Alright, relate. So the scene starts off and we are in hell.
What?
Yeah, hell. You already know shit is about to get crazy with this open. And then we see the advocate of hate. The nigga who hates all niggas and every other living thing on the planet. Training in the art of Kung Fu or whatever the fuck this is. Bro's hatred was so massive that he got permission from the devil himself to go back to Earth. But to explain how we got here, we gotta go all the way back to the beginning and how it all started. To really understand what's going on, I have to take you to season 1, episode 4 of the series, where we got to understand the nigga moment. Now, I don't think I'll do as good of a job explaining it as Huey would, so why don't we listen to my bro?
Webster defines the nigga moment as a moment when ignorance overwhelms the mind of an otherwise logical Negro male, causing him to act in an illogical, self-destructive manner, i.e., like a nigga.
And I swear, some of the scenes from Boondocks will not go over well in this current generation. Like, y'all got so soft. Pause. Y'all cannot handle some of the scenes. Y'all feel offended and stuff. Like, hey, everybody has their own opinions, but I personally feel like Boondocks will not go over well in this generation. It would have gotten cancelled on its very first season. But anyways, everybody's favorite grandpa Freeman had just gotten a fresh pair of kicks. Nothing beats the feeling of looking clean with some new pair of sneakers, bro. That shit just
sensational.
You just feel untouchable, no NBA young boy. But his joy and happiness gets cut off when this old hair Stinkmeaner pulls up. And gang, how a blind man is allowed to drive is beyond me, bro. Bro is casually ending lives on the road while driving like it was crazy taxi. Elite ball knowledge if you notice, by the way. Bro pulls up and immediately starts ramming his shit, pause, into Grandpa Freeman's car. Not once, but twice. And after he steps out, you get a little backstory. So basically, ever since bro was a teen, he hated everything in this world. You know how you see an awesome TikTok edit and have goosebumps? Well, Stinkmeaner will see that very same thing and say something like,
"Man, this some old bullshit."
This ain't even him trying to rage bait or nothing. He genuinely doesn't like happiness or being happy. And shit, I'll be the same way too if my parent decided to name me Stinkmeaner. Like, damn, bro, I'm so sorry. So at the age of 15, after losing his sight to cancer, do you want to know what bro said?
At least I don't have to look at your glass no more.
Yeah, this guy just doesn't give a fuck. The doctors told bro he had 3 years to live, and bro said, oh, word, and then proceeds to dedicate the rest of his life to spreading as much hate as inhumanly possible. That's just crazy. And by some miracle, he managed to outlive those 3 years. And that leads us to the present day. After getting out of his car, Stinkmeaner confronts Freeman about parking in his space, and somehow he's mad. Like, gang, you just rammed your shit into mine twice. Pause. Why are you mad, bro? He proceeds to execute the elite art of rage bait, calling Freeman a bitch-ass nigga and all types of insults. But Freeman kept his cool up until Stinkmeaner smells his new sneakers and proceeds to step on it. Oh lordy lord. And those were white sneakers too, by the way, so you know it's gonna leave a stain. This was the last straw for Grandpa Freeman as he proceeds to clench his fist and rush at Stinkmeaner. But I don't even know what possessed Grandpa to do this. This nigga is blind and was somehow still driving. And he could somehow smell your new pair of sneakers, all indicating that he has the infamous blind nigga stats boost. I swear, niggas in fiction get blind and suddenly they see everything better than everybody else. I can name a few examples like Toph, Admiral Fenji from One Piece. I forgot his name, but there's a lot of examples, bro. Toph is the goat, I ain't gonna lie. So Stinkmeaner weaves out of the way, making Grandpa Freeman trip, and then hits him in his knee with his walking stick. Like, this gotta be the most disrespectful shit I've ever seen, bro. Huey rushes in to prevent another strike, but the damage was already done. And I'm not only talking about physical damage, but the damage to Grandpa Freeman's reputation. Grandpa Freeman in one afternoon got his car wrecked, his new pair of sneakers stepped on, his knees injured, and worst of all, his reputation, aka his street cred, damaged. As a grown-up black man, getting your street cred reduced is like getting your chain snatched. You are looked at as... Riley wasn't making shit easy for his grandpa though. Bro was laughing his ass off. So they get home and later that night, Huey had a dream where he faced off against the blind nigga samurai. And this scene was low-key tough. I'm gonna cover it real quick. The blind nigga samurai comes off the top rope to clash swords. The impact was so overwhelming, it had Huey sliding backwards. Huey rushes in and the exchange clashes a few times before the blind nigga samurai weaves 2 strikes, going airborne. And after landing, bro just straight up earthbends like, gang, what the fuck? Huey jumps out the way and tell me why this nigga is aura farming while walking Huey down. Huey picks up his sword and rushes in for another strike, but bro casually jumps off Huey's sword, making Huey lose balance before striking mid-air. But Huey ain't no pushover, so he recovers and blocks. But again, the force behind the strike was so overwhelming it had him flying up. Bro's ascending to a new being. And bro said, hold on, I'm not done yet. Before continuing to overwhelm Huey with more strikes, And after the blind samurai lands back down, he waits for Huey to get within striking range before spinning around to hit him with a strike. This wasn't even swordsmanship, he just decided to hit him with a baseball move. Huey got sent flying into the bamboos and then got cut in his knee. But before the blind nigga samurai could finish him off, he woke up from his dream. He goes downstairs and peeps Gramps cleaning his shoe, and like I said, the stain was permanent. The earlier event somehow ended up on CNN, and the whole thing gets way worse. So now Grandpa had no choice but to defend his street cred. Bro even trained in karate with Huey, and then they set a date for the rematch. Riley then decided to hype up the fight and even made some money doing it. The day finally arrives, and after all that anticipation, Grandpa Freeman absolutely dog-walls Stinkmeaner, whooping this nigga's ass. And turns out he didn't really have observation haki or super hearing or none of that. He just got lucky the first time. And Grandpa Freeman whooped this nigga so bad, he ended up dying. And that brings us to the current day, when Stinkmeaner spent all of his time training in hell. Bro got so good at fighting, he was whooping demons in their home turf. That is just crazy. How are you losing in your home turf like gang? What? Gave this demon a mean 3-piece, pulls out the nunchucks and started going crazy. Bro was putting belts ass so well, even the devil was impressed. So the devil allows him to return to the world to spread hate and ignorance among the black community and then have vengeance on the Freeman family. Back on Earth, Grandpa Freeman was trying to crush no Playboy Cardi, and Huey tried to warn him about Stinkmeaner, but Grandpa ain't really want to hear all that. So we cut to Mr. Tom Dubois driving to work when some random comes in and parks at the spot he was trying to park at. This just gotta be rage bait, bro. You clearly saw me standing there ready to park. Now Mr. Tom tries confronting the guy, but the guy just punked his eye and kept walking. Normally, Tom would just let it go, no Central C. But on this particular day, Stinkmeaner was trying to find a host to possess. And what's better host than a nigga having a nigga moment? And that's how we got this iconic meme. What did you say, nigga? Oh my god. I'm having way too much fun making this, even though I have a cold and I sound terrible. Bro possessed Tom and immediately hit the random dude with a double foot kick in his chest. Shit was so nasty they replayed it 3 times. Had bro lying on the floor in shock, staring into space. Bro finna be traumatized for life after that shit. And Stinkmeaner didn't leave it at that. Bro kept possessing and repossessing Tom throughout his day, interfering with his work and his life. It wasn't all bad though. At least bro showed Tom's wife the time of her life. Hold on, that rise. Oh my god, gang. Who said Shakespeare was dead, gang? But nah, getting your shorty cracked by a dead black man is diabolical. Grandpa Freeman was getting ready for his date when Stinkmeaner walks in the house with an axe. He climbs up the stairs to find Grandpa on the toilet and then started destroying the door. This scene was so funny to me, but I can't really show it because YouTube is gonna snipe my channel if I do. Grandpa Freeman almost got a headshot, but trips and weaves it before finally getting his pants on. But Stinkmeaner was just getting started. Grandpa still didn't know it was Stinkmeaner possessing Tom, and Stinkmeaner needed to remind him, asking Freeman what's his name while putting belt to R. And I don't know why bro wants his name mentioned so bad. If I had a name like that, I'll be more pissed if someone actually said it. Huey calls out his name, and after passing the belt to Grandpa Freeman, the actual phase starts. Now I needed to lock in with me because this scene was insane. Huey and Stinkmeaner walk around each other while mean mugging before Huey opens up with a 2-piece. Stinkmeaner blocks and weaves before returning with a kick, which Huey blocked. He follows it up with a kick and a punch, both of which Huey blocked before striking back, before trying to tackle him. Now I don't know what came over Huey to think he could tackle a grown-up black man, but Stinkmeaner knees him out of the way before Grandpa rushes in with the belt. Block, smack him in the face. 2-piece get blocked, but 3rd time's the charm. Connects that. Riley tags himself in and counts him with this weaker punch. Stinkmeaner blocks and literally blew his back out. Pause. Huey comes off the top rope, double weave before walking him down. Riley recovers and rushes in for the JJK special, jumping niggas. But they are not UG and Toto, they still got the belt. Grams comes in again, only to get this nasty kick. Huey weaves that shit and Stinkmeaner kicks Grandpa out of the frame. Huey does a backflip to weave an attack before hitting him with a double kick special. He quickly recovers to weave a strike but couldn't avoid a second strike. And Grams been playing too much MK, hitting Stinkmeaner with a get over. Stinkmeaner ain't going for that and said, nah, you get over here, nigga. Before kicking bro away and hitting Huey with a chop. Bro had the Freemans looking so sorry, all laid out on the ground while trash talking them. Huey and Grams exchanged these looks, had me thinking, hold on, they might be able to make a comeback. Only for Huey to get knocked out and Grams to get choked. Like, nah, y'all are some frauds, gang. Riley was the only one to do damage in this entire fight, but at the cost of Grams' expensive lamp collection, finally knocking him out cold, and that was the fight. They ended up tying him in Riley's bed, but remember, Grams had a date and he was trying to crush. So Shorty showed up and Grams ignored Huey to go on his date. And it didn't end so well, as Stinkmeaner was making hella noise. This leads to Grams calling for a priest to come exorcise Tom, and guess who showed up? Yep, Uncle Ruckus. And bro has really done it all. I promise y'all, any minimum wage job you can think of, bro right here has done it before. He tried everything to exercise Stinkmeaner: a whip, a police stick, and worst of all, a Job up, Clay. Oh my god, bro. I'm so sorry for staring like that. The last thing an unemployed nigga wanna hear is age. Okay, never mind. I don't want to scare you twice in one vid. But none of these gimmicks actually works. And in the end, Huey steps in and gives Stinkmeaner and Akurake something to talk about. And after bro experiences a teeny tiny drop of joy, he gets exercise and leaves Tom's body. And yeah, that's the video. I really had a lot of fun making this. And I'm gonna keep them coming, so subscribe if you fuck with this type of content and you want to see more. As I said before, I have a code, so I might sound terrible in this audio, forgive me, but I really just had to get this done because I'm trying to be consistent. I kind of realized after being gone so long that I just love making content for you guys, regardless of the numbers, regardless of the views and all that shit. I just really love making content and editing and, you know, this whole entire process. And I really hope you enjoy watching these as much as I enjoy making them. Like and comment your thoughts down below. I really love to hear what you guys think about my videos. And I love y'all, and until next time, YC out.
This is the fight of our lives, and we're gonna win. Whatever it takes.
Listen to your mom.